Good morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the beautiful world you are. Welcome to Aquarius Rising Africa and Solutions with Aquarius Rising Africa. Drop in with ARA. Drop in with me for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes once a week. Really good to see you guys, or for you to see me. I know we're not live. This is recorded, but really good. Thank you for watching. We're just going to give you our roundup for the week. And also just catch up at the end of the conversation about some really disturbing information that I've come across this week. A little 6-year-old girl was filmed giving a 6-year-old boy oral sex in a classroom while the teacher was present. This is going a little bit far as I'm concerned right now. So I'd just like to maybe say something about that towards the end. But before I carry on, I'd just like to say thank you to Marushka.com, who is our sponsor for today's show and has dressed me in her beautiful linen. Today I'm wearing my baby doll shirt. You guys have seen me wear this a lot. I absolutely love it. Wear it, layer it, summer, winter, spring, autumn, anything. Beautiful linen scarf as well. She's really fantastic when it comes to having this amazing individual approach to fashion. And clean, sleek, handcrafted. That's the slogan, and I really can identify with that 100%. If you guys are keen to have a look at some of her range, she's also just brought out her winter range. Really, really beautiful stuff as well. You are welcome. We're going to leave the link in the description section below. And if you want to purchase something, you use the code Africa Rising. That's your coupon code, Africa Rising. And you will then receive your discount if you make a purchase from her. Thank you so much. And moving along to what is actually happening. Let's look at what's happening in the upcoming week before we just do a roundup of the past week. So if we can just put up the schedule for this upcoming week. Incidentally, this afternoon, Friday, 4 o'clock my time, 3 o'clock UK time, and I do believe 9 o'clock Brice time, wherever she is, I'll be doing a very cool little chat with Brice and Catherine, hanging out and just seeing what we can chat about and what comes up with what. Join us for that. Always such amazing fun to have these ladies on the show and just connecting with friends far and wide. Okie doke. So Monday again, as per usual, we have Brice with the Emerald Tablets. Tuesday, we have Alice Parola, who comes on every second week now. We're dealing with the whole borderline personality disorder and just looking at mental health in general and the stigma that's attached to that and how we can move through that and really not have such shame when it comes to these I want to call them labels, because that's really what they are, conditioned labels, whatever. But let's change that, you know. And of course, Wednesday we're back with Jessie again. So get ready. We haven't quite decided on a topic yet, but we'll keep you posted. Then later after that at 5:30 my time, we're going to, again, with Brice and Thea on the Sophia code. Really beautiful book that. We're going through the code and book and sort of going through the key codes and stuff like that. It's really, really wonderful. And then on Friday next week is, again, Kerry Saint, our Australian lady who was a victim of being of one of these forced adoptions, and really an amazing advocate for adoptions nowadays, standing up for the adoptees, stuff like that. The topic we're looking at is adoptive parents who kill. So that's a very interesting one. That'll be 11 o'clock on Friday, my time. And then, of course, in the evening, we have at 5 p.m., we have Lera Nikolaev, who's our Russian. She was trained by the Russians as a child to be a double agent. So she is a seer, and she has some amazing information and memories and things that are being surfaced. Also, what I haven't put on here yet, by the way, which we will update for you, we're going to be talking to Gloria Masters again this coming week. We're going to be fitting her in. I think it's going to be Thursday, if memory serves me. We will come back on that. We're just finalizing the times. But Gloria Masters is the survivor from, or the overcomer from New Zealand, and is doing amazing things. And what she's doing at the moment as well, she's looking at ways, launching, not looking at ways, hand signs and things for kids if they're in trouble. Anyone is in trouble, really. So we're actually doing a bit of a launch on that. So please tune in for that, because that really needs to be shared far and wide as well. Okie dokie. So that is our, that'll be next week's roundup. I've told you that Catherine and Brice are on today. Oh, and while we're on here, I want to just tell you about my new workshop, Conscious Creation, that I'm starting on the 1st of June. It really is, and we're using the sacred tools of the Ho'oponopono yoga, which is optional. You don't have to do yoga. You can do something else, or, you just something gentle, whatever, in the time that we do the yoga challenge with that as well. Then I'm also going to be introducing law of assumption. We work a lot with the law of attraction, and now included in this is going to be we work with the law of assumption, as well as SATS, which is really an amazing way that I know Anthony Goddard was one of the originators. I think he was the originator of the SATS way of just embracing, integrating, creating, and manifesting. So it's a beautiful workshop. It's new. I have done the conscious creation one before, but it's completely different to this one. So if you guys have done the one before and you want to do this one, let me know. You get a 20% discount. And anyone then who will join us on this workshop from the show, you can just use the word ARA drop in. You will be eligible for 10% as well. Only taking 12 people. I do a live workshop only once really. We then record, and then you get to, if you want to sign up, you can, but that's the recordings you'll be getting. So I'm doing a live workshop from the 1st of June. So many of you will join me. There's only 12 spots. I'm actually teaching morning and evening. So there's only 12 slots available per class or per group. So please join me for that. It's very exciting. And I'm very, very excited to be sharing that with you. I've been working on this for quite a while. So looking forward to sharing that. And then, of course, it's SunKidz Spiritual Parenting Month this month as well. From Mother's Day all the way through to Father's Day, we're doing Spiritual Parenting Month. So that you're getting our teacher trainings, you're getting our workshop, our recorded workshops, everything that we offer with the SunKidz at huge discounted rates. So if you are keen to do SunKidz teacher training, you don't have to do the accredited version. You can do not homeschool, home use version, which the home use version is you use it for yourself and you work with your kids, your family. It's not done in a formal way, but you're still getting exactly the same information. And that's on special at the moment. We're offering that at huge discounts because we really just want to get this information shared far and wide. And should you want to do the accredited version later, you're welcome to do that, because the accredited version is really working with me, where I'm working with you on the assignments and stuff like that, and you finish it in a 16-week period, because that's how long it takes. So the homeschool, you're getting the same information, but you're not being accredited to be able to take the work forward and actually work in schools, start your own little SunKidz center, because that's ultimately what it's about. For those of you that are in the SunKidz teacher training, it's starting your own little SunKidz franchise, if you will. So I'd be very keen to have any of you far and wide, the further away the better, that's going to join us on this amazing little SunKidz journey. Okie dokie. And I think that's all of the notices that I had to give you. You see, I'm just checking. Yeah, I'm still a bit disorganized with things written all over the show. But wow, as I was saying in the beginning of this conversation, I came across this really disturbing video, actually, and I'm going to ask if Morné will post that in the description as well, just so that you guys can refer to it. But this week, somewhere in Texas, South Elementary School, they even named the school, somewhere in Texas, a 6-year-old girl was filmed giving oral sex to a 6-year-old boy, that's grade 1, while the teacher was in the class. Now, I heard that it sounded to me like she was forced to do that, from what I heard, but I can't be sure about that. But that to me is absolutely, absolutely shocking. And, it's all about this right now. A lot of people are pushing this LBGTQ, whatever, I'm sorry. There's this whole propaganda around that as well. And I know what we've been seeing in recent months, especially around these drag queens doing these very sexually explicit shows with toddlers, and parents bringing their kids and, just really sexualizing the kids way, 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 way too young. However, in fact, I'm just seeing here as well that what was also mentioned in the video was another 6-year-old apparently went and told her mother that she was coming home with bruises and rashes. And she told her mom that she was forced to partake with the other kids. So what the heck is going on at these schools? There's a lot of parents shouting and screaming about the government that should take care of that. And I fully agree to a point. But, I have to say, stuff like this always starts at home. And these things are very concerning for me, because in the time that I've been a healer for 20 plus years now and dealt with some pretty tragic situations, especially dealing with SRA and stuff like that, we know that when kids are being sexual, playing out their sexuality at such a young age, there's a problem. That's usually a problem that comes from home. And in my experience, and I can't say this is across the board, but in my experience, that is usually when a child has been sexually abused or molested away from school as well. So these are very good things that we need to keep an eye on. But another question or another thought that popped into my mind as well is that, it's very easy to blame this transgenderism and these transvestites and this sexualization of what's happening in our schools nowadays. But honestly, if we think about it, let's go back. Let's just go back to my era, right? I'm from the Brooke Shields era. And that was when Brooke Shields was 10 years old making this movie, Pretty Baby, where I do believe she was something like a child prostitute or something like that, right? So if I remember correctly. I actually watched an interview with her a few weeks ago where she spoke about that. And in her mind, she sees absolutely nothing wrong with that. In her mind, it's art. Very proud of that. I'm not saying she shouldn't be. I've never seen the movie, so I can't tell. But if we're looking at that, and that's not the only thing, right? Our children have been sexualized for a very long time. If we look in more recent years, we're looking at Miley Cyrus, for example, Britney Spears, Rihanna, these singers who have, Christina Aguilera is another one that comes to mind, these young pop starlets who have really left nothing up to our imaginations in the way they can sometimes conduct themselves on stage. We know that that is part of their programming, and sex magic and stuff like that. We know that. So why then are we so upset now when the next step has been this transgenderism, LGBTQ? I don't know if I'm even saying that right. I don't say it very often. Why are we so upset that this is happening now, when before it would have seemed to have been fine? We might have commented on, wow, look at these girls or whatever, but they've been doing this for a very long time. This is just the next step. And for me, what is so blatantly obvious is that it's our kids they are after. We now know that definitely the whole pool, it was never as pool like your parents are wrong, your parents are bad, get away from your evil parents, which is a lot of message, which is a big message that's been put out there now by a lot of the sociopaths, in my opinion, who are luring the kids in. But it really is obvious to me that it's getting worse and worse, and we can't say it's just started here, right? We've got to be honest with ourselves. Even in earlier years, it might not have been as obvious, but it's certainly just the big rip off our eyes now to see what's really been going on all this time. So, that brings us to the question as well, is that, what does government do about this? Why are parents even sending their children to these schools where this is happening? Why aren't parents taking responsibility in that way to say, I'm going to homeschool you? And as I say that, yes, I understand that so many parents aren't able to do that. So I guess that is really a broad topic that needs to be discussed, and we must find some solutions for that, because if we are sending our kids off to these classrooms and really unknowingly this is happening, there's a big problem. But then it also, what they also mention is this guy, Alfred Kinsey, and I know I've mentioned him before on the show, and he was the one who decided that kids are sexual beings, right? I mean, he was doing those experiments on little baby boys and literally sexually torturing them. I'm sorry, because to me, that is abuse, violation, and torture, and seeing how many times they could climax. Right? So they then decided that children are sexual and can be sexual. And since then, this whole narrative that children should be sexualized has actually begun. So we really need to go back and look at that, because when we're also looking at some of the stuff that Jessie talks about, and remember, one of the reasons why boys are so badly violated or through the anus is because that's where they believe that's the portal to the gods, basically, where they get to have their own planet. And that's really the portal to everything their heart desires. We know that that's not the case. But anyway, we're living in a very strange world right now. And all I can say is watch your kids. Watch your kids very carefully. Watch what movies they're watching, watch what video games they're playing. I've actually now this week started watching stuff on just some of the video games, and I'm going to do something on that as well in the future, that these kids are being subjected to, and the grooming that goes on with that. Guys, all I can say is I'm a farm girl. I was born and bred on the farm, talking to animals, feeding little lambs and baby calves milk in the mornings, going out, feeding the chickens, spending lots of time in nature, running around with my cats and over the mountains and the hills. I am so grateful that I have not been subjected to this, that I come from the era that the first time I saw TV set, I think I was 16. I saw them before that, but my parents bought their first TV when I was 16. So none of this was in my reality, but apparently going on. So I want to just say, from someone who works with children a lot, nature is by far their best medicine. And I understand we live in the age of technology, and kids have to obviously be au fait with technology for school and everything. That's the way that the world is going. Absolutely, I agree with that. But let's just moderate it, balance, give them time to play on that, time to work on their homework, time to have fun. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to spend time in nature, outside, family time. This is the time more than ever that we need to be doing that. And on that note, I bid you farewell. God bless you all. Take good care of yourselves and have a beautiful weekend. And I'm going to see you later on with Brice and Catherine. Looking forward to hanging out with those two lovelies. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.